Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 48 of the Grace Attorney 2 Resolve. Last time, we found out that Sherlock was trying to basically infiltrate the Red-Headed League in order to basically get free rent money, because apparently he's already squandered the money that basically he got from Madame Two Spells, that basically he gave Iris a private plane and then bought a car for himself. And basically then we decided to go and check out what's going on in Inosuke's office. Didn't really see anything new there. And now we are in Strongheart's office, and now we're going to do our typical investigations. Let's see if we have anything new. Just sitting behind that desk must make you feel so important, don't you think? Would you like to have an... Okay, we already got this. Apparently there is lots of repeats. Seriously, it feels like everything is a repeat. Yeah, in the first grade Ace Attorney game, you had it where just every time you would come to a location, you'd pretty much get a new bit of dialogue. It'd be like in the original in the main series Ace Attorney games, where basically you check out the Anything Agency, you get some new dialogue. You'd go to the detention center, you get some slightly new dialogue. Where basically it felt like there was variation, like it would give me an excuse to actually go. Give me a reason to want to check everything out. But when I'm getting repeat dialogue like this, it makes me kind of reluctant. On the other hand, I have to, because I need to see if there's something new. Because I'd rather just make sure, I'd rather see a repeat than risk missing out on something that would make for some great headcanon. Yes, basically talking about the bathroom concerns. The enormous clock is maintaining its tick-tock today. Yes, Susato and her machinery. Okay. Yes, the wheels of the trains. Yes, Susato and her train memories. Yeah, too bad just that load of machines did not transcend down to Phoenix. Otherwise, he may be able to figure out just how to change that Steel Samurai ringtone on his cell phone. Yeah, really, that's going to be the end arc of the Ace Attorney series, where basically Phoenix finally figures out how to change his ringtone, only for Maya to immediately change it back, and Phoenix struggles once more to try to correct it. Yes, the fireplace steam engine. Okay, let's check out the knights. Suits of armor, glaring at each other. Guardians of the office. Yeah, they're really just... I'm surprised that Van Zeeks doesn't have any gargoyles. I mean, really, you would think that Barack would have just a few gargoyles in his office as part of the decor. Okay. Candles. I love how the candles are part of the bookcase. Yes, he's a speed reader. Knowing Iris, she would be able to read all of those within a day. Yeah, so now we have to hear about Eugene and his book vendor woes. Yes, all the books and the shelves. No. Knowing how Strongheart is, knowing how Mel Strongheart is, anyone tries to sell him books, he would end up making them pay him money. I don't know. I mean, frankly, with Van Zeeks, we see how he was with Albert. Van Zeeks, he's tsundere. He hides it all behind his rough exterior. Though I don't get why they have it where you can look to the side in this room, because, I mean, from what I've been seeing so far, they've never really had anything off to the side that you would have to check out. Let's see what Strongheart has to say on the Red-Headed League. Could I show you this, Lord Strongheart? I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence. Oh. Especially when the evidence in question is so dull. Ah, so that's the real reason. Show me the map to the swimming pool and then we'll talk, Inosuke. Anything on the armband? Yeah, it kind of makes me sad just how little dialogue there is with the armband, because with the one of the fun things in the main Ace Attorney games was basically how you could present the attorney's badge and you would basically get plenty of dialogue based on just from the different characters, where practically every character had something to say about the attorney's badge, but not so much with the armband. The Symposium. Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Grand Exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world?
As a comparison, Mr. Naruto, the population of the imperial capital Tokyo is 2 million.
I will be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. The event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparation and negotiations with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century, yes, the 12th century. The 12th century. We're already going back to the 1100s. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. They'll be so prevalent that we'll time travel and we'll send them back to the 12th century. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Which is why the landmark's first symposium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire, in order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. New World Order! New World Order! New World Order! He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something.
You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruto.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensics investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. I first established the forensics investigative team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensics investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancements in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Unintended repercussions of our trial.
We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though.
Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Now, you mind standing right where you are. Don't move, Mr. Ryunosuke, Mr. Naruto. Don't move. Don't move any steps. Don't move to the left. Don't move to the right. Don't move back. Just stay right where you are. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Just stay right where you are. Right where you are. And then meanwhile, Shishiro, he's just creeping up in the shadows with his gavel. Anyways, I'm still reforming this country's policing when I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Missing apprentice. I'm about Lord Van Zeke's apprentice. Ah, yes. That came as a surprise to me, I must say. That you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeke's in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my! So he stowed away to get here. Even though he lost his memories, he knew about how to save money by using the wardrobe to his advantage.
He had no paper to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. So I saw that and I said, hey, free labor! And I might as well send him with Lord Van Zeke's just to get a good laugh. Other than the fact that he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeke's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? I thought it looked cool. I didn't want to burn Lord Van Zeke's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice, because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask. You'd be surprised, but yes, apparently Lord Van Zeke's thought the mask was classy. He's proven to be a great help to Lord Van Zeke's. I have high hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being. I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, Genshin Asogi. What we learned from the trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was... Ah yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain. Though in the police department we call them the pay cutting murders. The great salary slasher as we called him.
They were such awful murders and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student if I had to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? The majority of the man's victims were a blot on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefit society as a whole. Or so a fair few thinkers in London believed anyway. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it?
It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Okay, move out. Okay, so anything to say? Okay, anything else? Yeah, I don't want to have to go back to the whole, oh, gotta check everything out. Okay. That's not gonna help. Let's see if any evidence is going to support. Nope, nothing over here. Okay, maybe we have to go back to Sherlock's house. Okay, good. Aha! Here's my guest now, my latest client, with money to spend and organs we can harvest. Iris, prepare the basement. We have 2 more guests to put down there.
Oh, I hope it's an exciting case, Harley.
Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save locating a runaway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you?
Yeah, I'm afraid that Harley can lack a little tact, especially just before the rent is due.
Though frankly, I would be surprised. How would anyone enforce basically eviction on Sherlock? Because frankly, with how unpredictable Sherlock is, he would just evade them. He would hide in the fireplace, or he'd hide in the ceiling, and then just ambush them from above. That, or Iris would use her police connections to basically just get rid of anyone trying to evict them. Basically, Iris gets Gregson to dispose of the landlord or the landlady or whoever's running things here.
Mr. Jones, please, oh please.
Please find my husband. He's run away. This is fine. You upset me.
I beg your pardon.
Never mind, a personal matter. My apologies. Iris, do you have the organ harvesting tools and jars?
Yes, I just finished cleaning out the mason jar just now.
Good, Iris. Because you know how much a pancreas can sell in this day and age? What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruto? I didn't say a word. Good. Don't say a word, or Iris will harvest your organs next. Hope your money doesn't just grow on trees, you know. Come, my dear madam. Be seated. Iris, some tea if you please.
Of course.
What's the matter, Mr. Sato?
Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before, very recently.
Yes, now that you come to mention it.
As I've explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take this case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure.
All of it.
What?
All of the money in your account. And all of the money in England. Money and wealth of little consequence to me, madam. Paying off the case to solve is a reward enough. But seriously, give me a lot of money. A hungry iris would devastate us all, like a horde of locusts.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are a picture of benevolence.
I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also.
If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be...
Oh, me?
What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, you understand?
Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this bear anything which you might say to me.
Ah, I see.
I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Okay, anything we can examine? Oh, we can examine the mask. The mask Kazuma wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Theeks as his apprentice. Now Iris uses it to basically dole out her own vigilante justice.
I'm gonna destroy anyone who doesn't read Rance magazine!
Iris burns down a rival publication to Rance magazine. She just burns to the ground while wearing the Kazuma mask. When he got his eye for the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up.
We ought to give it back to him, I suppose.
But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself.
But isn't he your best friend?
Okay. Okay, good thing I decided to check out the mask. Okay, present. Miss Vigil, would you mind casting your eyes over this?
Oh, my poor Daly, where have you gone? What's become of you? I'm afraid she's too worried about her husband to pay any attention, Mr. Naruto.
Either that or she just doesn't want to be bothered with me. Even though she hasn't even told us about her husband yet. The plot twist. Basically, Susato is more of a detective than Sherlock. Or did she mention it? Okay, I think she did mention it, but... Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just want to check. Yeah, she didn't mention anything about it. Okay. Yeah, I just want to check. Okay. Okay, just checking. Okay. Yeah, she did mention it. Okay. I was just not paying attention, even though I read the dialogue. Forgive me for asking, Miss Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps?
Oh, my.
Pshaw, my dear fellow, what was your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion.
Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week?
Ah, I knew I recognized her.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine.
I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now.
It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean.
Pardon?
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was a flippery, really, nothing more.
Now look what you started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much. No problem, Mr. Naruto. A job well done, I must say. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done, Mr. Naruto. Yes. Tell us about your husband, madam.
Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here.
An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married?
It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear, I only look at you to know these things.
Oh gosh!
You dress in the latest style, your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me.
Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or another.
Oh, that's exactly what I fear might have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warder at the prison.
A guard? That is somewhat unusual. So, your husband is a prison warder?
That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
Indeed, I see. Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation.
Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they are carried out.
Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishment?
He ties the best get nooses in the land. No one can challenge his knots. And at such times, he must certainly spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that little extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged?
Barclay prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. The finest soap in the land. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
No! That cemetery will haunt you forever, Ryunosuke. Lowgate Cemetery, that very place we were discussing in court? That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet undeniable.
Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madam, pay no heed. It's not like you were at that trial and you were serving on the jury. A private matter. This can't really be a coincidence, can it? Disappearance. So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing?
When he wasn't there. Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry, yesterday? That really is recent. Laughably so.
The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away from his work. It's not all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened?
My dear Miss Vigil, please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for 1 day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
In truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. Pay me my money. However, let's not be too hasty. I have rent to pay after all. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyways.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes.
And furthermore, let me assure you, I demand the rent money now. As chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Lunder's face. That's really all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. Like shooting fish in a barrel. You seek only to put this sweet's rent and your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Hey, she is a very scary lady. She is quite strapping. She has a rolling pin and would hit me over the head with it like something out of Tom and Jerry. She has a broom that really hurts when she hits you with it, Mr. Naruto. Have you ever been hit with a broom before? No, not really. Then you have no place to judge me. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir. Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure. Soon enough? So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession, I will put it in the money for 50 cents. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous.
I think it every time, Harley. But now, how you go with such come out with such nonsense? Couldn't use it a day or two? Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her some good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I successfully locate Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. And if not, Iris, prepare the baseball bats, because frankly, we're gonna have to make the landlady disappear. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent! And what did you make of it? Oh, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay prison, so it was renowned among the students of the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated,
The professor. And now a warden from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed, but nothing you can handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean, would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried. But aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair. The children will throw rocks at me, as well as Van Zeeks. But didn't you go to Line Street with that hair? That was for rent money, Mr. Naruto. When it comes to money, the lows I will go to know no bounds. That was quite different. That was a quite different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm rather busy. Of course you are. Well, we'll go there next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. Without, see you next time. Bye.